Hi everybody, it's Darlene Taylor, the Recycled Mom, and today I'm going to introduce you to the homeschool crazy wife, me. So, the homeschool crazy wife, that's me. Crazy! Why am I crazy? Not because I homeschool. Because today, well, most days, in fact, every day, I've been getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning with my husband. Do I need to? No, I don't need to. So yes, I'm crazy. Yep. Why do I get up with him? First of all, let me just tell you that today is a little bit out of the ordinary. Because my puppy, if you all remember, I have a black lab puppy who is 9 months now, and she decided that she needed to go to the bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a whole hour before I get up with my husband. Nobody knows. But she needed to go, so I got up, let her outside with our other dog, which is a Cavalier. So I let the dogs out, and they did their business, came back upstairs. I laid down on the couch until 4 o'clock when my husband's alarm went off. Why are you sleeping? Typically, most days, the alarm goes off at 4, and I'm up with my husband, and I go downstairs and cook breakfast for him, and I pack his lunch and get his coffee mug ready, and I help him, get out the door. It's not that he can't do it. It's not that he's not capable of making his own breakfast and getting himself ready. I'm up because he's up. Okay, when he gets up in the morning, the alarm goes off. I'm awake anyway at that point. He's in the shower, he's getting ready, he's doing what he needs to do to get all of his things together, and I can't sleep through that. He's not exactly the quietest person. He's not tiptoeing around, and they're just things that he needs to do. He's trying to get the weather and check on other things before he goes. Even if he was quiet, the fact that he's up and just moving around, I'm awake. In our early years, before we had kids, those days I was working nights and I was singing in a band, and so I wouldn't get home until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. In the morning, he would get up, get ready for work, and while he was getting ready, I would sit up and just chat with him for a little bit. And I would kiss him goodbye, and then he would go downstairs and he would get, and leave for the day. Did I have to do that? No. Did he expect me to do that? No, he didn't. But I did, because you never know, right? I'll never know if that's be the last time I see him, because, we're never guaranteed anything in life. Something bad could happen. Not that I dwell on it every day, but, that's the last thing that he sees, the last thing I see. It's our last moment together before we are, separated for the day. And I choose to get up and talk, to see him, and, give him a kiss goodbye, tell him I love him. That's our last memory that we have to hang on to until we come back together again. And that's always something that has just been a choice that I made, and I never even questioned it. It was just something that I did. And I still do it 22 years later. And 3 children and 2 dogs, and let's see, we have 3 cats. Through all of the ups and downs and postpartum days and all of the issues, tired, all of these things, I still do it. And it's not because I need to be some kind of martyr. There's no glamour behind it, or there's no recognition, really. It's just something that I do because I feel in my heart that that's what I want to do. Was it always easy to do it? It was not. There were many, many mornings, especially when my kids, in my baby years, and being extremely exhausted and not having any sleep. There were many mornings where I was angry. In the back of my head, I'm thinking, you can make your own lunch and you can do that. Why do you have to need me? And it wasn't that was just my frustration and my tiredness talking, and yes, he could have, but I'm not gonna look at that, because like I said in the very beginning, he's up, he's moving around, making noise, and I'm awake. And me being up and then just helping him get out the door, it's just something that I do, and I will continue to do as long as he's working, as long as he has this job, or any job really, because no matter what he was doing, if I was at home and he was leaving for work, or I would do the same thing. I have had many moms and women, say that I'm crazy. I can't get up in the morning. I can't do this. And you're crazy for doing that. He can take care of himself. Tell him he can make his lunch before he goes to bed, and then he can get up in the morning. They're right, he can. I mean, he could spend money and get breakfast on the way or at work. There's certainly plenty of restaurants or things where he works where he could get his own breakfast. Over the years, that's not healthy to do that. It's expensive to do that. It just adds more money to the commute that he already has. So, for whatever reasons, I do it out of love. I don't do it because I have to, and it's not required to. And my faith doesn't tell me I have to do that. It's just, I do it. So he's up, his alarm goes off at 4. By 4:40, he's out the door and gone. And he'll, 12 hours, 13 hours later, he's home. So after he leaves, I usually spend that time, sometimes depending on how exhausted I am, I will go back to sleep on the couch and grab another couple hours before the kids get up. If you had seen my video Mondays and no sleep, sometimes that doesn't happen, because dogs, and I'm looking at them laying here, chilling out, sleeping, being good little dogs while I'm awake. So he leaves, and I'll go back to sleep on the couch sometimes. Most days, though, I spend this extra time while it's quiet, and I will do my Bible study, my Bible reading, and prayer. And a lot of times, many years, I would do that time and I would fall asleep. I wouldn't get a lot of personal time with the Lord. But everybody says the Lord knows, and he knew what I was going through, and I can talk to him anytime during the day. So if my body needed rest, I would take rest. So I would spend this time catching up on social media, posting things for my business that I run. I would catch up on some email, try to do some American Heritage Girls things, catch up on now YouTube things, so I do all that stuff in the morning, in the quiet, when I'm not having to try to multitask or divide my attention between, children and other things. So I'll take this quiet time and also prep for the school day to come. And by about 8 o'clock, the kids are up. We're having breakfast, and we're off and running. I kind of have just grown with this time being my personal time, just my personal quiet time, because it just doesn't happen the rest of the day. I mean, if you have children, once they're up, it's kind of like you're up and you're going, and depending on their age, depending on the personality, you don't stop until they go to bed. And even then, it's, anytime after they go to bed, you're lucky to stay awake. You might as well just go to bed with them because you're so exhausted. People have asked, do I need more sleep? Absolutely, I need more sleep. My doctor tells me that I need sleep. Years ago, I had a doctor that actually wrote a prescription on his little pad to get more sleep. The most sleep that I have ever gotten on a fairly consistent basis was about 6 hours sleep. This was after we had kids. So for the last 17 years, if I could get 6 hours, that's great. Once in a while, I would be able to get a little more, and if that would have been if I've been on vacation, you know, maybe sometimes when he's home, I'll get extra sleep. But most of the time, I average about 4 hours. Why am I only getting 4 hours of sleep? You know, that's crazy. Hello, I'm the crazy homeschool wife. Nice to meet you. Okay, so you know my husband's gone for 12 or 13 hours a day. When he gets home at night, last night I only saw him for maybe 5 or 10 minutes before we left for our American Heritage Girls meeting. But we got home, it was 9, so that left an hour. They were trying to talk with Dad. At least the girls were, you know, trying to catch up with Dad. And so there's a little bit of that. That doesn't leave a whole lot of time for my husband and I to talk before we have to go to bed so we actually get sleep, you know. But I will try to push and stay up a little bit so I can at least have a little bit of conversation, even if it is just chit chat, have a little bit of conversation with him before we turn in for the night. And then we're right back at it the next day. And depending on what's going on, he gets home and we're running out the door. We have Tuesday night, Wednesday, you know, Tuesday night is something just for this month. And then Wednesday night we have Bible study. Thursday night we have Boy Scouts, so he's off with his son. Then we're down to Friday and Saturday, and maybe if there's nothing going on for the weekend, we have some time to catch up and do something for family. But if you look at the whole week, a whole week has gone and we have hardly had any time together except for that little bit of time at night. And so yeah, I do push and stay up a little bit to spend some time with him when I really should be sleeping. Then I'll get up with him and then take a nap. Is that the same as getting a full 6 hours sleep? No, it's not, but I'm catching up on sleep elsewhere. If you have kids, you know that the time that you have them, it's for a season. It's for a season in your life that you have them at home. And the time goes by so fast. I mean, my oldest is 17. Where did the time go? And I look back at that, what have I done with that time? When they're older and they can be on their own, or maybe on their own all the time, then yeah, I'll be able to get more sleep. The time that I have them is right now. As long as I have my husband, and as long as he's working, I'll be getting up with him. I mean, empty nesters, we're not too far from that. My window of influence on my children is going to be for a short time, and we are quickly approaching that. It is going by so fast. So this time that I have with them is but for a season. They're getting older, you know, they're going to be able to have more responsibilities, and they'll be able to drive themselves to the places that they want to go, you know, and they'll have their jobs, and they'll have college, and they'll have, you know, all these other things going on where they can start to manage their own schedules, and I won't have to do so much for them. And then I can kind of sit back and be more of a supervisor. Call me crazy. I'm feeling silly. You know, I think because I chose to, you know, give of myself to my family, I think that I am being blessed with that extra ability to be able to go through this and to sacrifice a little bit, that I can actually have a good quality sleep with the time that I do have, and then there will come a time when I'll be able to rest a little more. I take care of myself the best I can. I mean, hey, I rarely get sick. There's no magic immunity pill that I take. I just try to take care of myself the best I can. And there will come a time when I will be able to pay attention to myself just a little bit more than I am right now. So call me crazy, call me foolish, call me whatever. This is me, but I hope that you like and subscribe and comment on my videos. I'd love to have conversation with you. I love to have engagement, so please leave me a comment. It may not be till tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. when I get back to you. Maybe I should call myself the crazy recycled mom. Thanks for tuning in. Please also find me and connect with me on Instagram at The Recycled Mom, and on Facebook I have a private group set up for continuing conversation from this YouTube channel, so that it is a private group that fosters communication, connection, and a safe place to be able to talk openly and be able to encourage and support each other with whatever crazy, off-the-wall struggles, any venting, anything like that. This group for Recycled Moms is here for you, and I hope you come and join us. The link is below. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. See you next time. Nobody knows. This is the silly stuff we do in the morning when nobody's awake.